It's so nice to see you all the time. How can you come so many times? Welcome today for this satsang, this guided meditation, and the activation of enlightenment. And you know how we start? We will start the same way by the non-doing meditation guided and the activation of enlightenment at the same time. For those who wants to have it, they just have the video on. So just sit comfortably and closing our eyes. Just landing on this place where you are now, wherever you are in the world. We just leave life alone for a moment. Just letting things be the way they are. Not trying to fix anything. Not trying to investigate something or analyzing. Not looking for something. Just stop all the search. Not wanting anything. Just allowing this moment to be exactly as it already is. Not interested in anything at all. There will be an opening up, state of becoming available, and the truth will show itself for you, your truth, how it really is, what life is all about. Everything is allowed to be exactly as it is in this moment. Even thoughts are allowed to be here. We don't try to push away thoughts. We are simply not interested in them, but they're allowed to be here. Can be there in the background or wherever they are. Doesn't matter. We just allow this moment to be exactly as it is. Not interested in anything particular. And doing absolutely nothing. And then the activation will start soon. Can take 1 or 2 minutes to come out to meditation. Hey, anyone have any questions on the activation or the meditation? Or any other questions for that matter? Whatever.
I have a question.
Okay.
Kathy.
Hey, hi, Kathy.
If it seems like nothing is happening during the meditation and the activation, do you recommend just keep doing it?
Yeah, when you say nothing is happening, can you say more? Is there any stillness coming during meditation?
I don't really know. I don't really know what is supposed to be happening. So
Uh-huh. So you mean that it's just like having open eyes and not following any instructions? Is this the same, you mean? Or is there any change in it?
well, I sit quietly and I notice things coming and going, and I try to follow the instruction to not be interested in any of it and just sit there.
Mhm.
Um,
What
Not
is
sure if
what is dominating? Is there anything that grabs attention more?
feels like my mind, constant thoughts,
Mm, mm,
memories, situations, noticing, thinking, oh, maybe this is happening. No, nothing's happening. Just sit here.
mm.
Um,
Thoughts are not any problem actually in this meditation, but if they are grabbing us, which means that we follow them and we realize after 10 minutes that, oh, I'm just sitting here thinking, so to speak. Um, Depending on what we mean by grabbing, but yeah, I think you know what we mean. Something is hooking us and our interest, and we want to somehow go there and see where it goes, so to speak, where it develops into. So I'm just wondering if that is what is happening.
my experience is a thought will come, and within about 5 or 10 seconds, I notice, oh, I'm thinking, and then it just stops. But it's just that loop kind of repeats throughout the meditation.
Yeah, that is totally okay, actually, if it
Okay.
doesn't grab attention. If it doesn't become so dominating that we only sitting and thinking. But if it's coming and grabs attention, even quite often, that is totally okay. It is, you could say that it is the strength of the thought we are talking about it a bit. Is there some thought about what to have for dinner after the meditation? That is totally okay. But if we grab more by going into memories, for instance, about childhood and go into feelings. Are there any emotions arising also, Kathy?
No, just fleeting thoughts. It's like it tries to find life and it just fizzles, in 5 or ten
Yeah,
seconds. And
yeah,
then
and
it's
it doesn't seem to find so much life in what you're describing, at least. So you're following it exactly the way you should do.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, it can be a situation, should I really continue this? I mean, we have to be critical against whatever we do in life. Why should we do something which doesn't work? So we have been having individual sessions for a few, and I think we can continue to have that. Meditation is not for everyone. We just have to realize that we are not the sheep herd here, that we don't have to go in the same herd. Oh, I have to meditate now because I'm coming to Christian. No, no, no. We should like to meditate. So the question to you then, Kathy, is, do you like to meditate? Honestly.
I'm honestly not sure because I don't like much of anything right now. So
Okay.
I kind of do it because I think this can't hurt. So let's try it.
Okay. So let's say in this way then, is it somehow effort and a little bit struggle and a little bit stressful to do this meditation? Why do you do it?
Because I'm suffering and I'm not sure what else to do. And it
Oh,
seems like it might help.
okay. So it's more of a belief that maybe this will help. I will try this pill, so to speak, and see what happens. But as long as it is not creating more stress and it is releasing, it's about releasing stress, really. It's about relaxing, opening up, to be available, to see something else than we usually see. And as long as this is not a struggle for you, you know best here. If you feel that after some time or after the meditation, oh, finally it's over. If that thought is coming, oh, finally I can do something, I can have a cup of coffee. I don't think you should meditate, actually, to be honest. We should like to do it, it should be some kind of little bit of, we talk about longing, we talk about that the meditation is not a practice. It's something which has come out of the longing for freedom in whatever way we define that freedom for us individually. If it becomes some kind of struggle just to believe that probably this is good for me, but then this is just the mind which is having this idea. So my question for you then is, if I may continue with you, Kathy, is that if there is some kind of longing to meditate anytime, by longing I mean some kind of urge from the feeling level, from the heart or whatever you call it, from the existential place, that I want to sit now and just be and follow this instruction. Is that longing coming inside you and then the meditation starts? Or is it more of a thinking that could be good for me because I don't know anything else?
Yeah, it's more a longing for some kind of release from this state that I'm kind of stuck in.
Okay, so there is a longing there, so to speak, so which is starting, so to speak, and then the longing is expressing itself maybe as a thought also. That actually now I have some time over wherever I am, so to speak, even outside, even sitting on the bench in the park and with open eyes for a couple of minutes, then you are doing the right thing. That is the best criteria, that even if you don't see any immediate result of it, you are doing the right thing, so to speak, because you are following the longing and not going into some kind of idea that it could be good for me if I do this 30 years every day. That is a trap, of course. And it's a longing, the intellect is taking over, hijacking it, making it a project. It's not about a project here, it's about discovering what is already here. It's not a skill to be developed, but if the longing, even if it's just a small longing, you don't have any instrument to measure it, but you know what I mean. Even if it's a small longing, I want to change in my life, in whatever direction that expresses itself, then you do the right thing. Maybe that is the best answer. The criteria is the longing. And even if we don't see, because you started with that, we don't see any immediate result in our new beautiful state during meditation, which is actually nothing that we long for. Nothing that's not a goal. The most important, of course, is the effect on daily life. Because if we are meditating half an hour per day, and then we other 15 and a half hours, we are living in daily life. And of course, if we want the result to be permanent, irrespective of if we are meditating or not. So if you see some effect in some positive directions during daily life, there's also some kind of sign that this meditation has an effect. But of course, as we said before, meditation is not enough. Unfortunately, I could say it would be better if you could sit in a cave for 2 months and then it's over. That is not so the case, because when we come out, the old habits of thinking is taking over. The thinking which is not so strong during meditation has been hiding, so to speak, in the bushes and throw themselves over us when we open our eyes in the meditation afterwards. And that is a real struggle to become aware. Not a struggle. It's the task, you could say, is to become aware of this. How our beliefs are changing and destroying our life completely. When the meditation becomes some kind of healing pill, becomes some kind of oasis to go to some, now I can have some peace at least for half an hour before the mess starts again. We are investigating the mess and realizing that there is no mess. That is why we're doing this, focus so much on the question of our negative beliefs about ourselves. And also to clarify what freedom is all about. That is what we're doing here, of course. Someone else who has any comment or any questions around this topic? Or another topic? The topic for today was announced: joy is the nature of your being. We all want to be happy. I mean, we have to be honest here. We all want to be happy, and we want to live in a happy state 24/7, always happy. So what does it come into the picture in this discoveries of freedom? Well, you could say that the joy we're talking about now is not the bliss. Bliss and joy is not the same thing in this context, at least. Bliss is a quality of you, of your being, of your living here. I am here, I exist, I live. It's a quality of that bliss. But that is a quality and not a feeling. We're using the word bliss. It seems to be a feeling, but it is not. It's a very big misunderstanding about this. We have been covering it before also. What we talk about joy, that is something which is happening in the story. The bliss is not in the story, actually. It's a discovery of a quality that you are. Bliss and total love. Being. But joy, as it is talked about here now, today, is something, is a quality of in your story. And we can see it very much in small children. If they have reasonable, normal childhood at least, they're 2, 3 years old, they have some kind of joy, which is just joy. It doesn't matter if something really happening. They don't care about what kind of things is happening. They are just joyful. seems to be just joyfully living. There is no goal, and it doesn't matter what happens really. It's somehow joy. And that we can call joy of living. It's just a suggestion to call it joy or just living. Being here, being present. That is a joy which comes, which is always here, which has no cause. You don't have to be certain circumstances. It doesn't have to be something is happening in a certain way, or some people are coming that we like and so on. No, it's just the joy of living. And some people, they have it all the time. Suppose you have met them. They don't seem to vanish in them. I am one of them, actually. I haven't never have any other thing in joyful state, so to speak. It was even annoying for my parents. I was always happy. Oh, he's so happy, whatever happens. They couldn't stand it almost. Because it reminded, I don't know, but maybe it reminded them that they were not so happy because they were not. So this small guy was joyful from the beginning, and it's a joy of just living, and it's still here. Nothing to do with the enlightened state, actually, but of course it's connected to that, because the enlightened state is not only to be in a blissful, loving state all the time, but also the story is joyful. The story is, of course, also the enlightened state. To see that it's samsara is actually nirvana, and to see that it's samsara is actually joy. So this joy is something which is not caused by something specific, something which arises. And you talk about it because it can be so that in your discoveries, that you can come to that place where you suddenly realize this. You just realize somehow, oh, but there is some kind of joy here. Joy of just going to the kitchen. Not because you're hungry and you want to have some food, enjoying that expectation, but just joy of walking with your friends, or walking alone. Some kind of joy which doesn't seem to have any connection to what is actually happening in the story, but it is in the story somehow. I don't know if you can follow me now, but this is what is also is developing more and more in our discoveries and in meditations, that there comes some kind of innate, natural, I would call it almost childish joy, where it doesn't matter what really happens. And the future, doesn't exist. The awful future, is far away. And the memories from the past, memories from the past, they don't have any significance. So the joy is very much connected of here, now. The joy of just living, the joy of just existing, which is an amazing thing. And we exist, we live. It's not any guarantee that it should be in that way, but it is. Whatever way we put it, if we see it as a gift, or we see it as some kind of, I don't want to be here, or whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's just amazing thing that of existence, living, being here, being present. And this entertainment show that she seems to be going on in front, and everything is just joyful. That kind of quality is also, so to speak, showing itself more and more and more in this discovery journey, if I may call it that. Egle, I have a little question on this. When I start feel inner joy, fear is coming and joy disappear. Yeah, it can be many reasons for this, of course, but what is coming here now spontaneously is that joy is also connected to, am I worthy of feeling joy? Shouldn't I do some work first? Shouldn't I have the joyous moment as some kind of reward? So I don't know, in your case, Agli, we have to maybe look at it more closely in the individual session, but it can be that the joy is a little bit too much. I'm not worthy of feeling this kind of joy of living. Awful thought, huh? Instead of just appreciating it and enjoying the enjoyment, so to speak. Instead, the thinking is taking over by maybe going into old ideas about that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough to have joy, and probably it will go away in 2 minutes. To have it as some kind of permanent state, well, it's not for me because I'm worthless. I shouldn't be here even. So of course there is a lot of negative beliefs about some kind of me, which we have looked at doesn't even exist. But if there is a lot of negative beliefs here, this joy, which may arise, as you say, Egle, if it may arise and you suddenly feel some kind of childish joy bubbling up, then it can quite abruptly stop because we believe things that is not even conscious of. Things about ourselves which is negative and very destructive. And then the joy is disrupted. But the joy is always there. It's a part of the so-called natural state. I don't like this word, but you know what I mean. The state of seeing more and more of freedom, seeing more and more of your true state of being, just being here, not totally untouched by what happens in the story. I don't know, Egil, if you want to comment on this, or is it okay? Okay, yeah. We can talk about maybe more in your case in the individual session. Yes, Cassie has a question here. She says that she got periods of this, so it's very nice to get feedback that I'm not talking about me only, huh? But there is something here which is in everyone, and maybe we have remembrance from the very early childhood, before the ego took over and all the responsibilities came on a me, which doesn't exist. Then we could have this feeling of just being joyful, just enjoying what actually happened. Life is to enjoy, some teachers say. Totally true. So Cassie says, I too get periods of that feeling better for no reason. It is something that needs to be nurtured and paid attention to in order for it to grow and stay in awareness. It's effort required and respect. Good news is, no, you don't have to do anything. The less you do, the better. Because this is the natural freedom coming to surface. That which is, so to speak, boosted in the enlightenment activation is now starting to bubbling up. It comes first in glimpses, then becomes longer glimpses, then becomes even longer duration, and then permanently there, independently of what happens in the story. That joy, that's why we say that this joy is actually a part of your pure being, of your living as existing. So it will just grow and grow. Anyone else wants to comment on this?
Sure,
Yes,
why not?
Fritz, finally, I hear your voice. So,
I didn't know I was keeping you waiting, but okay.
when is he coming? I love it, you know that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
So, as we as I've told you, there was a time about 32 years ago, 33, whatever, where this just arose spontaneously, where this bliss, a preview of some kind, I don't know, temporary awakening, whatever.
Mhm.
But that was one of the things I noticed about it qualitatively is everything was just okay. And before that, it was definitely, the experience was definitely not okay. Um, and it would show up for no particular reason. I'd be walking through the apartment and I'd look at the wall and say, that's a really cool wall. It's like, huh? But that was what was there. Going through the neighborhood, walking around, it was amazing. And it hadn't been that way before. So I get what you say about this is inherent. Because there's been times after that too, where this showed up, where it was like, there it is, for no particular reason. So
Yeah,
anyway, just to validate what you're saying
yeah,
from my perspective.
yeah, it's very, very good. Thank you, because it seems that what you say is that the okayness is very good expression in this connection with this subject, because that if we can just take another one example from our ordinary life, huh? When something is not so good first, and then it's okay, huh? Some kind of okayness with it. Then some kind of joy comes there also. So the okayness and the joy, the spontaneous, natural growing of this, developing of this of this joyfulness, they seem to see some. They can be, doesn't have to be, but they can be connected actually. It's like anything actually that we feel first stressed about, and then some kind of release of that stress. Uh, okay, so a new taxi will come then, so I can get to the airport in time. Oh, there was some kind of release, and then it's okay then. And then there's a smile on the face, you know. Have you noticed? We somehow first a little bit pressure on us, and then when the okayness comes, it's also some kind of, ah, let's take a cup of coffee and just relax. So this joyfulness is some kind of, it's just part of life, really. And those people who doesn't feel it, of course they really suffer, you know. This is what we do here. We're trying to get back to that. So yeah, get back to it because it's already there. It has never left us really, but it's just overshadowed by all things. The filter of beliefs usually, and the filter of all the bad memories, and so on. But what we work with here, individual and group sessions. Yeah, thank you. That was very good to see this connection between the okayness and joyfulness also. And actually, um, in the state of pure being, the enlightened state, where everything is seen as total love, that your true being is actually total love. That brings, so to speak, bliss. So even total love is actually very close to the bliss also, as the okayness is very close to joy. You can always say childish joy, because it seems to be so strange. Why should I be happy about this? You know, you're even laughing at yourself being happy. Can do. Anyone else have any comment on this topic? It was just to even more clarify that this childish joyfulness is a part of our discovery journey. And to just, this is what he was talking about when it appears in you. Glimpses, as you, Kathy, talked about, and then it comes more and more and more. But it's a process. It's usually a process. It's usually not a shift like this, because the joyfulness is connected to our beliefs, negative beliefs about ourselves. So they have to be seen through, that they are not true. None of them are true. That is a little bit of a process to see this. And then the joy is not distorted. You will see that it has always been there. Oh, of course. Even that can come. No, of course. It's obvious, it has always been here. It was just overshadowed by all this nonsense, all these destructive beliefs about myself and others. Anything else that someone want to say? It's morning in LA, I know, Fritz, but in Europe, it's Saturday evening, so it's party. I don't know about party, but we see each other tomorrow, and I wish you all a nice evening, nice Saturday evening. Okay, thank you very much for today.
Thank you.